Wow, I have not filmed a video in landscape orientation in about 5 years, so this feels very funny. Anyways, I recently started a TikTok channel to track the progress I'm making on building a company called Rueda. I posted and filmed a bunch of content for that, including some deep dives on some of the work I'm doing around AI software development and like real-time filming the development and troubleshooting of some of the products I'm building. And they're like 15, 18 minutes long. And after speaking with ChatGPT and also after seeing how TikTok works, 18-minute videos are probably not going to do well there because people on TikTok have the attention span of a goldfish. So I asked my very small audience, but growing, what I should do, and also consulted ChatGPT, and it encouraged me to make a YouTube channel. So I'm going to make this YouTube channel at least to post a couple of the deep dives, and yeah, so that's what this first video will be, a deep dive for a basic site that was constructed using Base44. If you like this and if you would find more of this kind of content valuable, you can help me. You can subscribe if you want to, as an indicator that Fontaine, I want you to continue to make more content like this. And if you write a comment, then I want you to write a comment of what sorts of content you would want to see, what sorts of deep dives or topics as I'm navigating this world of being a solo founder and using basically AI as my co-founder. So write me a comment, subscribe, not just because I want that validation, but because it helps direct me on whether or not this is a channel I should invest in. Have a nice day.
Wix had acquired a company called Base44. So I just typed in Base44 and played around with it. And I was like, I like this. And it basically I described what I wanted and it built me an app. And so I'm going to go ahead and give us, I'll show you Base44 right now. And then I want to go through and make a site real time with you so you can feel what it feels like. So, and then I haven't done something like this before, so I haven't figured out how to record the screen and me at the same time. So we're going with it. So just so you know, this is what the UI looks like. It says, what would you like to build? And you can see down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have already built 7 things. Now, 3/4, well, no, 3 of them are proper functioning products. 2 are in progress, and then 2 are, I've put them in the past. But I've been building a lot with these, and basically I'm building these separate apps. And I will tell you how they work at a different point. So how do I want to do this? All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up so you can see me talking, and then I'm going to also record my screen, and then maybe I can figure out a way to splice them together later. So that's what we're going to do. Thanks for bearing with me as we figure out technology. Okay, so I'm on Base44. I'm not going to stress too much about whether you can see it. So I was trying to think of let's build a site together. And so I wrote up a little prompt. A big part when you're talking with AI is called prompt engineering. Maybe we do a little bit of a deep dive on it, but you're talking to it and it's coming up with stuff. So how you speak to it really matters. So I wrote up 2 sentences of something I want to build. Basically, I have all these projects going on right now, and I kind of want to have a personal website that brings them all together. So you can see oh, here's my Instagram, here's my TikTok, here's my company that I'm building, whatever. So I wrote up a couple sentences. It says, I want to make a simple personal website that links off to all of my projects. No login required. Currently, I'd like to put links to 4 Instagram accounts, 2 podcasts, and a TikTok. I'd also like a section called Rueda, which will link off to the company I'm building. Let's make it a simple site, not overcomplicated, colorful, but still elegant. So I'm gonna send it right now to Rueda, and we'll sorry, I'm gonna send it to Base44 and see how it goes. And I'm gonna try to screen record right now, so bear with me because I haven't done it yet. All right, so I want QuickTime. Okay, I'm going to, what do I do? Oh, over here. But just so you know, I'm trying to figure out how to screen record right now. But I don't want you to see my whole screen, so I'm only gonna let you see the Base44. All right, I think that is good. So, I don't know, but maybe it's recording right now. Let's say it's recording. Cool. So, I'm gonna take my prompt, which is right there. We'll copy it. And then I'm gonna paste it in here, okay? It says creating your app. This might take a few minutes thinking. And then you're gonna see all this stuff on the left-hand side here. This, I'll like to swivel a little bit. This is the talking. This is talking with the AI. This is the product, okay? So it's thinking right now, but you can see it says editing homepage, create elegant personal portfolio website, editing hero section. So that's what it's doing. I'm gonna see if I can read to you what it's doing as it is doing it. I'll create a personal website that showcases your projects with an elegant, colorful design. Here's my plan. Number 1, hero section with your name and a brief introduction. 2, project showcase with organized section for social media, podcasts, and your company. 3, clean layout grid with hover animations, contact information, mobile responsive design. Design language. It talks about what it's doing, like the minimalist approach, the layout, the typography, the colors. App structure, a single main homepage, I like that. Individual components for different types of projects and reusable card thing. Okay, so let's look at what it's created now. I'm gonna put this down. Well, you can kind of see it, but hopefully we'll splice it with the screen recording too. Your name, creative, innovator, storyteller. And then it says, welcome to my digital space. I'm gonna come back to the copy. I care a lot about language and words, so we'll come back to it. Copy, by the way, is what we say in the world of tech around what are the words showing on the screen. So it has this little arrow here. Let's click on the arrow. Oh, okay. Interesting. It's actually just having me scroll. So that was like a little bit confusing. I don't love the animated arrow. I don't like that I have to scroll down so far. These are things I'm gonna come back and fix. Instagram, follow my visual journey across different passions. Okay. All right, interesting. Photography, travel, food and lifestyle, art and design. Podcasts, cool. TikTok, Ruetta. Honestly, I kind of like it. It does say 2024, all rights reserved at the bottom. I'm not sure if that's some Base44 thing or is that just not correct? But, okay, also, I'm not loving the color scheme. It's bright purple and pink. The saturation is, I think, I don't know. I think the purple is kind of rubbing me the wrong way. So I'm going to say, can we not use purple? And then I'm going to show you how I can both, I'll talk to it back and forth. And then I'm also going to show you how I can change the code directly. So I'm going to say, the purple is too intense. And generally, the colors feel too saturated. Can we tone down the color palette? Another thing, if you're new to software development, we often talk about something called responsive design, which probably came in like 10 years ago. Very happy it did come in. Basically, the idea that the design should respond based on what platform you're on. So right now I'm on desktop, so it's like quite wide. But if I were to make it narrower, which I'll show you how to make it narrower. made it too narrow. Basically, the content you see, it used to be, for example, these little sections used to be side by side, and now they're beneath one another. That's called responsive design. So if I open it, it's called floated back up. So that's great. So I don't have to build that in, which is really nice. All right. She said, or he said, who knows? I've toned down the color palette to be more subtle and elegant, shifting away from the intense purples and saturated colors. Okay, so there's more of there's still a gradient, but a blue. Yeah, I like it. There's a teal, there's a coral pink. Okay, I like this. This is colorful, but not too much. Great. Now I want to come in and change some of the words. So sometimes when it comes to changing the words, I'll just go in the code directly and do that. A couple other things while I'm here. So I'm using what's called credits, and the credits, I have a lot of credits because I've been using it so much recently. So I bought the biggest package, which I think has 500 credits. You can see here. I've used in the last month, I've used 288. I've built 3 apps with $200, which is pretty good. And my credit renews in 2 days, so I'll have to pay another couple $100. But basically, I got to like the 250 mark recently, and I decided to go ahead and upgrade. So it's actually an interesting question about whether do I want to downgrade for the next month? I'm gonna write that as a note to myself because I might actually want to downgrade. Let's see. Cool. All right. So now that's on my credits. It has decided to call my app up here Nexus Link. I don't want that, but we'll come back to that later. All right, now we're gonna go into the code itself. So preview is what the app looks like. Workspace here is how it's like the code is structured. So a couple different things here. It's calling it Nexus Link. I'm gonna call it Fontaine Portfolio. I'll update the description. So rather than your personal hub, I'll call it a personal hub to connect with all my creative projects and ventures. Okay, that's fine. I generally prefer fewer words, so I feel like it writes twice as much content than it needs. So I'll hit save. App visibility, this one's pretty interesting and important, especially early. Like deciding, do I want this thing to be logged in? I know this is my personal portfolio. I don't need anyone to log into that. So I'm going to say public no login, but some of the other things I've built would either be private or public with a login. So basically anybody can access it, but you still have to log in, that sort of thing. I can invite people, la-di-da-di-da. Okay. Then I could even, let's go ahead and change no, I'm not going to change my icon right now. So I can see users. I'm the only user. I'm only going to be the only user because no one's going to log in. I can see data. There's not going to be any data, but once the once the product has a database, that's kind of where it's stored. Analytics. This one's actually really cool. It has out of the box analytics, so it can tell me that one unique user has been there and this is the page that they've been in. It's not, I actually really haven't used it that much, but as someone who used to build analytics tools, it's always exciting to see this out of the box. Domains, this will be something we'll get to in the future, but the idea is right now, it's hosted at Base44.com, which when I've done user testing, people are like, what's Base44? This is, I will change it for once I'm ready to have it be more public, to be probably under my name.com. Security, I don't even know what security is. Code, now this is the interesting part. Okay, so there's pages and there's components. So pages is like, probably this is a single page app, so you can see home. So this here, I'll show it to you here, but you'll also see it on the screen. This is the code for that page, okay? And the AI generated it itself, which I'm so grateful for, because that takes a long time. This is gonna be mostly like CSS and like basically how it's rendered. There's some logic, but it's mostly around how it looks and feels and how it's displayed. Now, then you also have components. Components here is where you have a little bit more logic. So, and for example, this one will be key, project card, okay? So I told you there's a big page, but then there's a bunch of different projects. Project card is one of the projects, and this is gonna be the code for the project card. So, now I'm gonna go ahead and edit a couple things, but I'm gonna flip back and forth between the workspace and the preview so that I can basically connect the dots. So first of all, the most obvious one is, it says your name. I'm gonna put my name. Your name, let's call it, okay, how do I do that? So I go into code, and then I usually search files, because especially when it gets to be a lot of code. I'm gonna say your name. Your name. Amazing. So I found the section that says your name. I'm just gonna go ahead. Ding. So now we're gonna go ahead and update that to my name. Okay. Is that actually, ooh, I did that in the wrong place. There's actually two your names. There's the home and the hero section, and now I'm realizing, well, I'm gonna do it in both. But, oh, I gotta save it. It doesn't automatically save, so I'm hitting save right there. Now let's do in the, now where are you in here? Okay, this is gonna be the big one. Okay, so, great. So you can see now it says my name, Fontaine. And then at the bottom it says Made with Love by Fontaine. Cool. So this is 18 minutes long. We made a very simple website, but I feel like I explained the overall concept, a little bit of the tools that are out there, and then we made this simple app and we edited both with the agent and then in the code itself. We can go a lot deeper, and we might, but I think that's enough for now. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it.